you must buy when there's blood on the streets as long as it's not your blood. This is the time to actually, in a sense, double down on SIPs and not withdraw.
If you're a foreigner, why would you come here right now? And if indeed you're buying gold, silver, then you have to buy gold and silver mining stocks, which are not available in India.
Markets have been volatile since the Middle East conflict began. Now, what can the investors expect at this time? Joining me to talk more on this is Manish Chokani and Jay Kumar. Thank you for joining us on NDTV Profit. Sir, I want to start by asking you that, markets is seeing a dip each day. And do you think oil surge is the only reason why the markets is seeing this volatility, or what are the other reasons why this is happening? And the Indian markets is the most hit.
Thanks, Manish. Thanks, Ridhima. So I think the Indian markets are most hit is, if you take a 12-18 month perspective, it's clearly the case. But if you take the last, let's say, 1 month or thereabouts, most our peer group markets like in Korea, etc., have been up between 80 and 100% over the last 1 year. Compared to that, we've virtually been, I think, flat to slightly negative. In that context, I think we've fallen off a little bit because oil obviously hurts us. My own feeling is that there is no real world demand for oil because people are searching for inflation, people are searching for, growth areas. So oil is a technical play right now, as all commodities, Bitcoin and these silver kind of commodities are, where there's a huge inflow of money that comes in through hedge funds, through the Jane Street's equivalent. And some of these are exacerbating moves on both sides. Now, given Iran, etc., first few days it didn't happen. There's no reason to have happened on Friday. And between Friday opening and today, it's up 50%. There's nothing that's happened in the oil world to justify this kind of move. So I think some of this is technical, but the reality is, and this is my personal feeling, is that sooner rather than later, one major president of the US will come out and say that I won the war and he'll pull out. Because to my mind, that's the only logical end to this illogical conflict which has been created by him. So this is my personal
Anything to add on, Manish?
No, he's my senior, so whatever he says, we agree.
Also, do you expect the market to see further correction, and is it the time to buy on dip? Are the conditions like those for the investors?
Well, every time there's a geopolitical event, it's normally, the best saying has always been you buy when there's blood on the streets. So most events like this are indeed buying opportunities. But this, as he rightly said, there are a lot of technical factors in the market. People are over-levered, there was too much money, then there's all these quantitative funds which are trading, then all these ETFs which come in. So as you get positions getting cut down, you start creating panic lows. Plus, we have advanced tax outflows this week, and the market was running only on domestic flows. So if you put all that together, you're likely to make a very interesting bottom for the market, I would think, in the coming weeks. So it should be an interesting time to be thinking of buying, not of selling.
What's your take?
If I can just add a couple of points on that. One is that you must buy when there's blood on the streets as long as it's not your blood. But having said that, I am very, very bullish on the markets, and I think it doesn't matter whether it's today or tomorrow, but very, very, shortly. And Manish usually gets these inflection points right from empirical evidence, I can tell you. So I think I'm very happy to back what he's saying, to say that I too weigh in with the same thought. That I think it's a great time to be adding, and especially if people are in the market with SIPs over the last 1 year, this is the time to actually, in a sense, double down on SIPs and not withdraw like a lot of people may be tempted to do.
What's your take on the valuations at the current time?
Valuations have corrected significantly. Like 24 of October 24 was, of course, our high, and markets were clearly overstretched, and we all used to spend time, scratching our heads that what are people seeing that we are missing. So those things have corrected. The broader market has also corrected a lot. We still are waiting for this elusive earning recovery, and the index composition has to change as the old IT companies and a lot of the older companies are struggling to bring back new growth. So just below the index is actually probably the more interesting companies, where you should be getting an earning fillip coming through soon. And we were on the cusp of a capex recovery. Anyway, with this kind of destruction happening around the world, as he rightly said, metals, infrastructure, those kind of companies should actually be doing much better. Defense, of course, very obvious.
Anything to add?
Yeah, so I'll add one or two sectors in this. Typically in the past, with the weakening rupee, which has been the headline sort of thing, people used to move to the IT sector. But because the business disruption there, IT is no longer a safe haven, especially to get dollar-based incomes, if you will, in your portfolio, because the business models have been sort of significantly hit, or at least the jury is out on what it will be the final shape of this. So I think pharma to that extent, especially because pharma sells into the retail space, which doesn't make adjustments for especially dollar rupee or euro rupee fluctuations. So pharma, to my mind, with a very, very low index weight at hardly 6%, there also one Sun Pharma accounts for 80% of that. There is almost no exposure people have to pharma. People have been underinvested and the balance sheets are squeaky clean in most cases, delevered with no debt, and earnings are strong. Europe is growing 20% for many of the generics people, and we are the lowest cost in the world. So whether with tariffs or otherwise, anyway, this was outside the realm of tariffs, but I think pharma could be an interesting space, which I think from an index weight perspective could easily double over the next 18 months.
And now on the broader, what about the FIIs? How do you see the emerging markets, Manish?
If you're a foreigner, why would you come here right now? You have enough to do all over the world. So I don't think that's coming in a rush. Having said that, inevitably this is a long-term market which everyone will be drawn to. The cheaper the valuations get, the more attractive it gets. So I won't hold my breath. You buy the right business at a price, the buyers will always follow. So don't worry about the foreigners.
I agree with that. I think the weightage of the FII flows in the overall context has reduced substantially. A lot of people who left for one reason or the other today have adequate, equal and opposite reactions, should I say reasons, if you will, to come back. So people will come back, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. My own assessment is money will have a reversion to mean. People will sell out of those other markets which are up 80-100% and come into these. So that won't surprise me, but it's not because they want to enter India. I just think that money flow happens this way.
And what about the gold rally and gold and silver? Do you think the rally will continue, and should investors invest, or it's in a space which is now overpriced?
So gold and silver are really an anti-dollar trade, and like with other metals, hard assets, the trade is moving away from a lot of the sort of Magnificent Seven kind of companies for the last year. It's already been moving away. Gold and silver have made a very recent kind of euphoric high. They will take time to consolidate, but long term they are headed substantially higher. But unlike an equity portfolio, gold and silver don't yield you a new cash flow. So think of it as part of your currency hedge, not as part of your equity portfolio. And if indeed you're buying gold, silver, then you have to buy gold and silver mining stocks, which are not available in India. You have to buy them overseas. In India, there's an indirect play through only one listed company, but not enough. So certainly worth having some gold, silver, and other hard assets in your portfolio.
Sectors you're bullish and bearish on. You said pharma is something which we can bet on.
And the second is, I think telecom and data center infrastructure. So the entire range of whether it's, power, cable, infrastructure from a data perspective, or especially telecom towers, etc. Companies in that space are yielding 8 to 10% on free cash flow basis. So they are inexpensive as it is. And now with some of them becoming consolidated in the portfolio of the holding company, I don't want to mention stocks, but it's easy to guess. You could have interesting plays out there which are seen as boring cash flow businesses. But in interest rates scenarios like this, clearly you must go in for hard asset companies, especially with these telecom tower companies and data center are hard asset companies, and good cash flows. And both these are.
You're right, as we are heading into a session on IP and trademarks. We're talking about hard assets, and they're calling us in now.
All right.
So Ridhima, spare us.
So lastly,
If we
just
get
last
if we
advice
get-
for
if
the
we get it right,
investors.
you can do a show called Jakes and Chokes. And we'll
Can
come
we
back.
just do the last advice for the investors at this time? That's it.
Stay invested.
Yeah, don't lose. Investing is a long haul game, so it's not a T20 game that you have to win every week. You will, I think, get interesting prices now. I hope people have some cash.
Anything on
Otherwise,
the AI bubble? Do you feel that?
listen, we can keep
All right.
pontificating on everything.
All right.
We don't know anything. We didn't know the market's going to fall this way. We didn't know the Iran war is happening. So all we know is when prices are attractive, if you buy and you can hold them long enough, you will make money. That's all I can say.
And along the way, read adequately to be able to feel a little more empowered in the
Confident,
markets.
yeah, that's right.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you for giving us your time.